Day before we have seen how to combine if the file is identical. ஒரே மாதிரி ஃபைல் இருக்கு அதை எப்படி கம்பைன் பண்றது பார்த்தா if the file is different in merge query. But yesterday we have seen no need for using merge query, no need for using VLOOKUP, or no need for creating appending or anything. We can just connect and we can create a relationship. For example, yesterday I think we used the file. For example, I think yesterday I opened this file. I think 11 is purchase orders. When I open the file, there are 2 or 3 sheets available under the purchase order. All the 3 sheets are non-identical. We have 3 different types of data. One sheet we have purchase orders, another sheet we have inventory details, another sheet we have the supplier details. So, but there are some common columns between the table. Supplier ID is common. In supplier ID, supplier code, no problem. It will automatically create a relationship. If it is not creating a relationship, we will see how to create a relationship also. First, we will import this data. This is the power of this Power BI. It automatically creates a relationship. If columns are identical, if the data are similar, columns ஒரே மாதிரி data similar இருந்தால் Power BI automatically relationship create பண்ணும். No need for us to write a VLOOKUP function. No need for us to merge a query also. So let me import this data into Power BI. I'll open Power BI, Excel workbook, and we'll go to that file and I select that file, 11 purchase order, open. As usual, I will select all the 3 sheets, 3 files. If the data are non-identical, yes, I select all the 3, first sheet and hold the shift key and select the last. Go to transform data. Nothing to be done in Power Query. Power Query, we have to check only the column quality, whether the column quality is correct or not. That's the only thing has to be checked here. If the column quality is correct, we have to load it to Power BI. That's it. So let me check my column quality. I'll go to each and every sheet. I'll go to the inventory sheet. I think my column quality is perfect. Sometimes you may remove the columns which having the data also. Data columns, sometimes you can remove it. And the purchase orders, everything is clear. And supplier table is also, everything is clear. So we have done this and we'll close and apply. It goes to Power BI now. One advantage is you can see very fastly it will happen. You can see it's waiting and it's evaluating. Automatically a small message will appear here, creating the relationship very fast. You can see creating the connection model and it will automatically create a relationship between the table. It automatically finds the relationship. What is the common column between the table, and you can see it automatically creates a detecting relationship. Fast on the word second, just a second, detecting the relationship and it has created the relationship. How can I check the relationship? You can go to the third button here, model view. Click on the model view where you can see all the 3 tables are connected. All the 3 tables are related. So all the 3 tables, how it's connected. For example, this purchase order and this inventory is connected. How it's connected? When I place the cursor over here, it shows which 2 fields are connected. Item ID. Both the fields are connected. And you can see it says 1 and asterisk. 1 asterisk. What is the meaning for 1 and asterisk? 1 to many. That means one items had many purchases. One item we nariya purchase order. Many purchase order has been done for one item. So 1 to many relationship. Same like here. This one also it's related here. So it's related here. When I place the cursor, it's related. When you place the cursor, you can see the supplier ID, even though the spelling is wrong. Heading tappa irundha kuda it automatically creates a relationship. That's the advantage. That's a powerful feature of this Power BI. Other than Power BI, if you are doing this, you have to manually create a relationship between the table. Which is a column related, and we have to manually create a relationship. How can I create a manual relationship? For example, assume this relationship is not available. Power BI create pannalam. That's very rare. 99% it will create it. So if it is not created, wantedly I delete it. How can I create a relationship between the 2 tables? Very simple. Now I want to relate this supplier code with the supplier ID. So click on that reverse also. Supplier ID, supplier code. Supplier code with supplier. Both are same. So drag that supplier code and drag it to the supplier ID here. What will happen if I drag it to supplier name? Will it throw an error? No, it will not throw an error. It will connect it. But we have one more opportunity. If I wrongly selected some other table also, no problem. It will open a table. Here we have one more option. Now you can create a correct relationship. You can come here and you can select rightly here. So we have supplier ID and supplier code. These two tables are linked. இது எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு 99.9% you will never do this. Automatically Power BI will take care of it. Automatically it creates a relationship. If you have the common tables, common column between the tables, it automatically creates a relationship. Fine. So this is how we can create a relationship. One thing which I didn't teach in the last session is how do we check the relationship is one method is you can check it here. Another one more method is also available to check the relationship. When you come to this third button here, model view. On the model view, there is a home tab. On the home tab, you can see there is a button available called as manage relationship. Manage relationship. If you click on the manage relationship also, it will show you which two tables are related, which two tables are connected. Purchase order and inventory table is connected. And what is the common field? Item ID. Item ID is the common field. Same purchase order and supplier code is connected. Supplier table, supplier ID, supplier code is the common column between the tables. Okay. So this is another way of checking the relationship. So we can check the relationship through a diagrammatical view and it is better. Or another method is you can click on manage relationship and you can check the relationship also. Right. Now let me come back to that report view. I think before this we have seen one more. That is how can I get your company logo, company font into your Power BI. First of all, what we have to do is go to view tab. Under view tab, you have to go to the more here. Under more, you have to go for customize current theme. Under customize current theme, text. So all the text you have to change it to a particular font. I think I will change it to Arial. Here also I will change it to Arial. And here also any font, any simple font, Arial. So all the four I am setting it into a particular font and apply this. That font will be applied, but I want your company font to be applied. So once again click on it and then we have to go for save current theme and we will give a name for that theme. Yesterday itself we have given HL Mando. Now I will say maybe HL mail. Okay, I will give a name and I save this. Now after saving it, you have to go to that location where we have saved it. And you can see there is a file available here. It will be a JSON file. Latest version, you can make a right click. Latest version, you can make a right click. There is an option available. Edit in Notepad. If the option is not available, you can go to open with. Under open with also Notepad is available. Some very old system. Romba padiya Windows arna, even the right click may not work straight away. Shift press panni. You have to press the shift key and you have to press the right click. Then the open with will appear. Shift, hold the shift key and right click. Very old Windows. Because yesterday I have seen some people are using the older Windows also. A shift key and right click, open with. And from which you have to open, we have to open it in the Notepad. Inge option varlana, you can click on choose app kuttina and the list over. You can select the Notepad and I open it. I open it here. I'll say open always on the Notepad. And what we have to do here is, instead of the Arial font, you have to type your company font here. Solunga, MAGOTHIC. Correct? Okay. So, I will take a copy of this. Wherever the Arial font is available, I am pasting this font. Wherever the Arial font is available, I am pasting it. After this, I will save this. Ctrl S, I am saving and I am closing this. And let me come to Power BI now. How can I get this font? Here, go to more button here. Under more button, there is an option available. Browse for current theme. And where your template is available, your theme is available, select it and open it. Yes. Where you will get a message. Successfully, file is imported. Yes. The file has been added successfully. Click on got it. Now if you insert anything, suppose I insert a text box. I insert a text box and I click here, you can see your company font will be available here. This is how you can import your company font. By default, you will not get your company font. This is how you have to import a company font. To give a title, one method is you can go to the text box and you can give a title. Another method is you can go to the shape. Under shape, you can select any shape and you can increase the height and width of the shape. Then we have to go for shape. Under shape, styles, where you can change the color and you can change the text also. Unfortunately, in shape, you will not get your company font here. So I can select some other font. Suppose I select some other font and you can type the text here. Something. Dashboard. And you can increase your font size. This is another method of displaying the title. Fine. After this, the very important concept you have seen it. So from the table called as purchase order, I want to get the total purchase cost. I want to multiply this quantity into unit price. You can multiply the quantity into unit price based on two methods. In Excel also you can just say multiply quantity with unit price. Or one more method is you can go to home tab. Under home tab you can go to transform data. Under transform data also you can multiply two columns. I can go to the purchase order table and I select the quantity and I select the unit price and I can say multiply. Add column. Under add column, under standard, you can say multiply. This is one method, but I don't recommend this method because the data is too large. Here I have only 4,000 or 5,000 rows. Suppose you have million, billion, trillions of rows and columns. When you create an extra column, it may slow down your system speed. So instead of doing this, we can create something called as measure, which is equivalent to calculated field in pivot table. Pivot table calculated field by measures. It doesn't create a separate column. It virtually creates a column on the background. Background lo virtual our column would have been created. But to create a measure, if you want to create a measure, in Excel we will create a calculated field. For that we will use FX. To create a measure, we have to use one thing that is called as DAX. The abbreviation for DAX is data analysis and expression. Yesterday we have seen a simple two DAX. One is we can use the sum function. Another one is you can use SUMX function. Sum function, what first it will do is it will first sum it up and then it will multiply it. But SUMX, it will multiply each and every row, then it will at last multiply. So this is equivalent to sum product in Excel. Sum product use pandra mari. So I believe we have to use SUMX. So how can I create a new measure? Go to the home tab. Your cursor can be anywhere. It's not required you have to place the cursor in purchase order and create it. Your cursor can be anywhere. Later also you can move that measure to some other columns also, some other table also. So I'll go to home tab. Under home tab, let me click on new measure and the formula bar will appear. What is the name of that measure? I think yesterday we have given a name as purchase cost. That's the name of that measure. And what is the formula? Formula is SUMX, open bracket. In which table you have to get it? I have to get it from the table called as purchase order, comma, quantity. Even though quantity, it will show the purchase order within bracket quantity. The table name quantity into, what is that? Unit price. Same table. Close the bracket, enter. So this is how you can create a measure. So after creating a measure, as usual, we can insert a card here. Inside a card, I can bring, I think in my system, where is that measure created is, the measure is created. Where it is created, what is the name of? Purchase cost. Yes. It's available under the table of calculate. It's available under the inventory table. We can move this to the purchase order table also. Now let me bring this purchase cost to the field area. So it gives a value here. You know how to convert this to a normal one. As usual, I'll go to the calculated field and I'll make it as none. So this is the purchase cost. In formatting, other things we have learnt in an earlier session also. And how can I move this purchase cost? It's in inventory. I want to move this to the purchase order table. No problem. It can be in the same table also. But for our convenience, I want to move this to the purchase order table. So select that measure and go to the measure tool. Under measure tool, you can see home table. In which table this measure should reside. So I want this measure should reside at the table called as purchase order. So it will move from this area to this area. Will it make any difference on the report? No, not at all. It doesn't make any changes here. So one table there are two columns. One table we have two columns. We can multiply it very easily. Suppose I want to multiply two columns in two different tables. I want to multiply the quantity with the unit price which is available in the inventory table. So let us create a new measure. New measure. And what is the name of that measure? Sure, we have given some name for it. Profit or loss. Planned cost. I think we have given even a name as planned cost is equal to sum x open bracket. Once again the table name is purchase order, comma, quantity. Unfortunately, if I say multiply, how can I multiply the field from some other table? Same table, it's very simple. You can just type unit price. But here the unit price is available in the inventory table. So I want to get a column from some other table. So we have to use another related. Another formula called as, another tax called as related, open bracket. All the column names will be displayed here. Let me select that unit price. Close the bracket. Two bracket has to be closed. One bracket for sum x and one bracket for the related. Enter. Yes. Now let me insert a card again. And I put the planned cost into this card. I am putting the planned cost into the card here. Yes. As usual, go here and call out value, change it to none. Okay, formatting and the decimal points, I'll make it as 0. Yes. And you did a task. I created a new measure. The measure name is profit and loss, where we want to subtract the planned actual purchase cost with the planned cost. So we have created a new measure. Profit and loss. Profit or loss. What is the formula for this? Sorry, there is a bracket. What is the formula for this? Purchase cost. Straight away you can type the column name. Purchase cost minus planned cost. That's all. Enter. No problem. It will prefix with the table name. Without the table name is also no problem. Now let me insert a card and I will put this profit and loss into this card. So it says 562K and I want to insert a slicer now. How can I insert a slicer? Place the cursor on some empty cell and we'll go to the slicer, click on the slicer, and I think yesterday we inserted a slicer for what? I think we inserted a slicer for a category. So let me put the category here. Based on whatever you select, electrical, so it shows it's a profit, and fasteners it's a loss, hydraulic is a loss, and lubricants it's a profit. Based on the selection it says profit or loss. But I want to give a color conditional formatting for this card. Select the card, go to format, then call out value, FX, conditional formatting. Under conditional formatting we selected rules. Based on the profit and loss, if it is minimum to 0, we are giving a red. New rules, if it is 0 to max. Delete that 0 and we can give a color for that. So I am giving a green color. Okay. So based on my selection, the colors will change. Correct? Then, and we have inserted one more visual, maybe to represent whether we achieved the profit and loss. I think we inserted a option called as gauge. Select the gauge and I increase the height and width of the gauge. Here we have two things, value and the target value. In value, we have to bring the purchase cost. In target value, we have to bring the planned cost. So now based on the selection, electrical, whether we have gone above the profit or above the target or below the target. So you can see if it is crossing the needle, that means it's above the target. If it is within the needle, then it will show below the target. So let me select this and I'll go to format and I'll say the display units. I'll change both the display, all the display units as none, so that I'll get the exact value here. And even you can do a conditional formatting for this gauge also. Select this gauge and you will go to the color of the gauge and fill color or the target color. Let us go to fill color and gradient or the rules. I will go to rules. And here is the challenge. It's not based on the purchase cost. It should be based on the profit and loss. You can click here and you can type here or you can find the profit and loss here. Profit and loss. Based on the profit and loss. Once again, minimum to 0 is red. New rules, 0 to max is green. Okay. Yes, based on the selection, green or red. Okay, but I want my gauge should appear here so that it should not that we have in a good speed and the gauge should come at the last. And one more thing I recommend is I recommend to switch off this two things, format. I recommend to select the gauge. Under the gauge I recommend to switch off the call out value, not the call out value, data label. I recommend to switch off the data label switch off. So how can I bring the gauge at the last here? We have to create a DAX, new measure. Click on new measure and the name of that measure. Let me give some name. So let us give the name of the measure. This measure is created to fix the maximum. Sorry, I pressed the escape unknowingly. Some name, max value of gauge. Okay, max value of gauge. And what is the formula is purchase cost into 10% or 20% into, how can I get it as 10% into 1.10. Enter. So max of gauge. And select the gauge. Inside a gauge, go to the add data to the visual, and we have to bring the max of gauge to the maximum value area so that you can see the gauge will come to the last. When you view it, it will be much better. Electrical, you can see here, based on that, the gauge is displayed here. Okay. After gauge is over, then we have inserted a new page. In the new page, I think we have created a donut. After creating a donut, I think we have inserted region name wise. Let us say the region name wise. Let me put the region name into the legend area and purchase cost into the value area. I think yesterday before this session we have discussed one more is detail. We can have a split in this donut or a pie chart also. I will explain that in the later part. Now let me create this donut. After creating a donut, I want to create a map. There are two types of map. One is filled map, another one is bubble map. Before clicking on the bubble map or filled map, you have to do something. That is, you have to go to file. Under file, you have to go to options and settings. Under options and settings, options, and go to security. You have to go to security. Under security, you have to enable that map and filled map. I think we have to go to the security here. Under security, map and filled map has to be selected. This option has to be selected. Tick that option and then say OK here. So I click on OK. Yes. Now let me click on this filled map. This is the filled map available. There are two maps. This is filled map. This is a bubble map. So I click on that filled map, place the cursor on some empty area. I clicked on the filled map. Now in the location, I want to bring the state names. So let me bring the state name. And one thing is your Wi-Fi has to be connected. Your internet has to be connected. State names, I am bringing it here. Then I will bring the purchase cost here. I am bringing the purchase cost to the tooltip area. In tooltip area, you have to bring the purchase cost. But based on the purchase cost, I want to give a color. So format, fill color, FX, and I will go for gradient. The gradient is not based on state-wise, gradient is based on the purchase cost. Lowest value, what is the color? Let us say red. Middle value yellow. For a change, I will give the highest value as blue itself. Green, I will, for a change, I am giving it as blue. And I say OK. So based on the value, the color has changed here. And one more advantage is when I click on this north, so it zooms out and it shows only the north region details. Similarly here, whatever you click, based on that, the region names, based on that, you can see the state-wise, it's showing a map here. Same thing, you can convert this map into a bubble map also. There is one more map, that is a bubble map, whichever you want, either bubble map or a filled map. Then we have inserted a clustered bar chart. I click on the clustered bar chart. Here I want to bring the top 10 suppliers. So let me bring the supplier name here. So I want to bring the supplier name. So let us bring the supplier name into y-axis and purchase cost into x-axis. It shows all the supplier details, but I want only the top 10 supplier. Can you tell me how can I get the top 10 supplier here? You expand the filter, then you have to go to filter on this visual, click on this supplier name, then we have to go for, instead of basic filter, you have to select top N and top 10. Top 10 based on what? Based on the purchase cost. Maybe I will want it as purchase cost, and I say apply filter. It shows only the top 10 suppliers. But unfortunately, when I click on South region or North region, it doesn't show me the top 10 for South. It doesn't show me the top 10 for North. So when I click, it should show me the top 10 of this. So how can I get the top 10 of this? Format, edit interaction. Under edit interaction, you can see when I click this, what has to be done to this bar chart? We have to click on filter. Switch off the edit interaction. So based on whatever you select, it shows the top 10 customers for that. Only the top 10 customers. And you can give a color for this. You can display the value for this also. Now, if I make a click or right click and drill through, I want to see the full supplier details here. I want to see the supply details in a table format. So let us insert a table. I'll click on that page 3, a new page. I want to insert a table. Two types of table. One is a normal table, another one is matrix. So table looks like an Excel table. So let me click here, and whatever the fields you want, you can drag and drop and you can create that field. For example, yesterday we dragged and dropped the purchase ID, purchase order ID. Then I want order date, but unfortunately order date displays like this. Can you tell me how can I convert this into exact date format? Click on the order date and make it as order date. And if you want to change the date format, select the order date, go to the top, column tools. Under column tools, you can see the date format. Whatever the format you want, you can change the format. There is one more option, we can change the customized format also. Today I will explain the customized format. And whatever the other things you want. Suppose I want the item name. I will bring the item name here. Something like this, whatever you want. Then I want the purchase cost here. So I can bring the purchase cost also here. And you can do a conditional formatting for this. Click on the purchase cost and go to conditional formatting, and we can go for, yesterday we did icon set, and we can give some conditions here. Percentage, instead of percentage we have given some number. I think I remember 5,000, 5,000, 0 to 5,000. Then I said 5,000 to 50,000. You can select any icon. I selected the default icon. 5,000 to 50,000. Then the last one is 50,000 to max. You can leave percentage also. So you can make it as percentage or you can make it as max also. It's showing an error. Oh, sorry. Percentage. Okay. That's all. So it will give you the icon. Can you tell me how can I sort the table? I want the highest purchase order should come to the top, lowest purchase order should come to the bottom. Click on the top of the purchase cost. Once again click it. So it will show in ascending or a descending order. Just to click. But by default I want the purchase order ID in order. So I will click on the purchase order ID. Then we have inserted a matrix. So I want item name wise. I don't know which we have created. Item name wise, right? Item name wise. Then what we did yearly. Yeah, yearly. Item name wise yearly profit and loss. Which has the highest value that should be in rows. Which has the lowest value that should be in columns. So item name I will put it into rows. Yearly. Based on the order date I want yearly. So let us put the yearly order date. Yearly I am putting into columns. And purchase cost, profit and loss, I will put it into the sigma value here. And you can do the conditional formatting also. You can click here and you can go to conditional formatting. There is something background color, font color. I think we did it. Background color means between this range, greater than this range I can give a color, lesser than this range I can give a color. Or I think yesterday we did the data bar. Positive value, what is the color? Negative value, what is the color? So based on your values, the color will change. If it is a positive, you will get a blue. I think yesterday we did a green. Negative, you will get a red. But the challenge is, If I want to come from the page number 2, I want to select that particular supplier. What are all the details? I want to see this details. So come to this page, page number 3, and go to the, and I want to bring the supplier name here. So which field you want to link? Supplier name. Drag that supplier name and bring it to the drill through area, so that you will get 2 changes. One changes, you will get a back button here. Another changes is when you place the cursor over that supplier name, you will see there is a right click. Under the right click, there is an option called as drill through. If I click, it automatically drills through and it automatically shows only that particular supplier details. But I know this, I can verify it based on the value, but it's better to display the supplier name itself on the top. How can I display the supplier name on the top? You can put a card and bring that supplier name into that card. So just a field area where the supplier name will be displayed here. Sorry. And I will switch off this category label. So when I go there and I make a right click and I can make a drill through, it comes to the page number 3. This is one method. You can move from one page to another page. Suppose I will create one more visual. I think yesterday we have seen this stacked bar chart. I click on the stacked bar chart. Inside a stacked bar chart, I will say state wise, state name wise, sum of purchase cost. Let us put the purchase cost. I think one more thing, I want a split of this. What is the split? I don't know which split. Year wise. Okay, we have created year wise. So year wise created a split. Year, I can put the year under the legend area. So it's showing the split. But the problem is, I want this. When I go to a page number 1, I don't want to right click and go to the drill through. When I place the cursor itself, I want to see that report. Whenever I place the cursor and region wise, it should show me the report here. So go to the page number 4. Under the page number 4, bring the region name. Bring the region name to the drill through area. First thing. But this what will happen is, if you make a right click, it will drill through. But I want this report should come there. So what I will do, second step, place the cursor on some empty area of the page. Go to the format of the page. Then page information. Then you have to say allow users tooltip. Click on allow users tooltip. Now what will happen? Whenever you place the cursor over here, it will show you that report here. Based on whichever the region you are placing, it will show you the report here. Okay, simple. 2 things you have to do. Drag it on the tooltip and switch on the tooltip. Allow the tooltip. Drag it on drill through and allow users tooltip. And finally, we have seen one more. 2 charts. One is a line chart. Let me click on a line chart. And I want to create a line chart maybe for state-wise or city-wise. So I put it as state-wise. And I say the purchase cost or profit and loss. Let us say the purchase cost. And it's not in a proper order. So go to the 3 dotted. Under 3 dotted, you have to go to sort access. I want to stay state-wise. It has to be sorted. And once again, I click and I will put it in an ascending order here. Now assume we have some target. I want to draw a line at the target area. So go to the analytics here, where we can see y-axis constant line. Add a line, and what is the name of that line? Let us give a name as target line. I am giving the name as target line here. And where is your target? You can type that. I don't know what is the target we have given yesterday. 4 lakh. 12 lakhs. Correct. So 12 lakhs we have given a target, and we can change the color, we can put the line in a straighter line, and we can display the values. Both the values and the name both can be displayed here. So it will display the values, display it at the right hand side, or you can display left hand side, you can display the values here. Similarly, we can display the maximum line, minimum line, and average line also. I think yesterday you displayed a average line also. And unfortunately, in a line chart, you cannot do a conditional formatting. So what we did yesterday is, we have converted this into a bar chart. We have converted column chart, we have converted into the column chart. Then we have to go to format. Then we have to go to columns. And then we can go to FX. and we can give a condition here. Based on the purchase cost, if the purchase cost is between number to 12 lakhs. 12 lakhs, then I want to give a red color. More than 12 lakh means I want to give a green color. Okay, sorry. You get 12 lakhs, there is some missing here. So you can give a colors based on that. Better than 0. Sorry. Okay. So based on my value, the colors would have changed. I didn't give a color properly, that's why it's not giving the right colors. So this is what we have given it. Then finally, later we can convert this into a line chart also. Later we can select it and we can convert this into a line chart. Based on that, the color will change automatically. The last one, we have seen how to insert a line chart. And we have selected order date. I will put the order date into x-axis and profit and loss into y-axis. I want to know the what if forecasting. So it shows like this. How can I see that month wise? Let me use the click here. 1, 2 times I have to click here. So it shows month wise. Month wise I want to forecast it. So go to that analysis. Under analysis you can see forecast. Switch on the forecast. By default it will ask the forecast for point. What is meant by point? Point could the now. If your chart is by year wise, it will forecast it by year wise. If a chart is for month wise, it will forecast it for month wise. So I recommend to go with points. So or if you want to specifically find it only for months, you can select the month also. So I'll put it as points. How many months? Maybe 2 or 3 months. Ignore the last 1 month. So last 1 month I didn't have a data. So you can ignore the last 1 month. Seasonality is next upcoming month we have a holidays, more holidays, so you can increase the seasonality also. And then confidence level, how much you are confident, sir? 95% I am confident with this. So apply, yes, it will show you the forecasting here. So when you are going like this, what will be your January, you will have the forecast like this, 10,295, and February you will have the forecast like this, and March you will have the forecast like this. So it shows the forecasting here. Right? And you can filter it. If you want only a particular year, I don't want to take the particular year, I can remove it from the filter also. And finally, the last chapter which we have seen it is this slicer. I will put the slicer on the topmost part here. And I will convert that slicer into a drop down. And when I select a particular thing, the electrical, all the 6 or 7 pages, the electrical has to be filtered. And I want to see this slicer in all the pages. Or except one page, I want to see this in all the pages. So select the slicer, then we have to go for view. Under view, you have an option called as sync slicer, synchronization of slicer. I add and sync with all the pages so that it will automatically adds in all the pages, automatically it syncs with all the pages. Suppose in a particular page, if you don't want this to be synced, or particular page and synchronization vandana, you can remove it from the particular page. For example, in page number 4, I don't want to visible, I don't want to synchronize. Just an example. 4th page, on the 4th page, you will not get it. You will not get that synchronization of slicers. So like this, very easily, one page the slicer add panni, we can synchronize with the multiple page. So when I click here, all the pages, the electrical will be filtered. You can see the electrical is filtered in 6th page, electrical is filtered in 5th page, 3rd page, 4th page. All the pages, the electrical will be filtered. Except the some other page, except the 4th page. So like this, you can synchronize your slicer also. I believe that's our last chapter yesterday.